Yo YouTube everyone, welcome back to the channel. For today's video we're going to be going through how to reach your potential in Black Ops 6 rank play. We're almost there. Black Ops 6 is round the corner. There's a few things you could do from now until it comes out to reach your potential. We're going to be going through them today. So first of all, I would say take advantage of the early game stuff. Actually, before we get into that, I'm going to try to break this down in a few segments. So there's things you could do now before Black Ops 6 comes out. There's things you could do at the start, and then there's things you could do during the game, okay? We're going to start off with the most exciting, which is going to be the start of the game. So I feel like at the start of the game, it's really important to get ahead. So one thing I would recommend is looking back at this year, having like a bit of a self-review and be like, you know what, like, why didn't I reach the next rank? Like, what actually stopped me? Now, I coach a lot of people. Whenever I coach them, they always tell me about certain things like, you know, oh, I only played this much. I only did this. And I'm like, look, like, I can say they're excuses because I feel like they are. But to be honest, it's up to you. Like, if you feel like they're true limitations, then that's fine. But if you're honest with yourself, like, I have people say to me like, oh, if I only play 5 hours a day, like, I can't. I'm like, bro, that's more than me, right? So it's like, you play a lot, so you could get out of your rank. So the first thing I will say is, okay, I don't know how I want to do this. Do I want to prepare? Okay, we're going to go through the preparation first, okay? Let's go through the preparation first. So what to do now? What I would say now is, like, be honest with yourself until we get to Black Ops 6, right? We've got about 6 weeks left. If you're still playing Modern Warfare 3, then use this time to kind of level up and be like, all right, how can I improve as a player? Don't worry about your SR. The game is literally on its last cycle right now. The ranks don't matter. So do this, in my opinion, if you're trying to improve, just play the game if that's what you want to do, and just work on improving in your weaknesses. So if you're someone that's like, you know what, I don't ever drop shot, bro, go into a game, go into a private game and practice that drop shot. Like, be honest with yourself, look back at your gameplay and say, right, I want you guys to think of it as sports, okay? It's like, imagine you got pre-season right now, you're going into the next season, you're like, okay, what do I do to prepare for it? Like, how can I improve? Well, you look at yourself, say, right, what do I do wrong? What do I see other people do better than me? How can I get closer? How can I bridge that gap? There are a lot of things that carry over: centering, base movement, IQ, your shot, a lot of kind of mechanics, callouts, your knowledge of spawns. All these things kind of rotate from game to game, right? So what you're learning now will transfer over. Shopsy's not going to be stuck in bronze next year, right? He's got the core skills to be a top player in the game, so they're going to transfer over. Same as you. Whatever skill you're at now, majority of that will transfer over, okay? Where the skill really comes in for the next game is finding those nitty-gritty like mechanics, so like the broken things and abusing those, but that will be next COD. For now, I want you to focus on your weaknesses. So if you're someone that's like, honestly, I just don't have a lot of movement, I feel like I'm good as an AR but I don't have movement, I want you to really go into the private game before you play rank play for the next 6 weeks. I want you to spend the first 10 minutes of your session practicing your movement, like going through shooting bots, practicing your movement, doing the dolphin dive, doing the movements from this game and just practicing it. I know they're not going to fully transfer over because of Omni movement, but at least getting to a sense where you're becoming more of a player that's used to movement, okay? That's my first thing. So work on your weaknesses, really, really important. The next thing I will say is, so yeah, for the next 6 weeks, if you can kind of work on your weaknesses, and especially stuff like comms, stuff that you're not really going to go through in game. Like, imagine if you can work through your communication. Like, just say you're playing with a friend, right? And you're like, you know what, let's actually practice our call outs, because we kind of both, we don't really call out too much, and you practice your call outs. Whatever your weakness is, whatever you want to work on, just work on it to the next game, okay? Now we're at the stage, Black Ops 6 just dropped. So what do we do? There's so many things. First things first, have some fun, man. Play some pubs, get used to the game. It's all going to come down to the time you put in. And the start of the game is normally the most fun to, like, just play pubs, play with your boys, play with your friends, play with people in Discord, just have fun, go for some camos. Rank play will be out, I reckon, about January, around then, or maybe even December, but it's supposed to be out in season 1. So you have about 6 weeks roughly, right, of competitive, you have 6 weeks until competitive gameplay drops. Have some fun, play some pubs, try out the weapons, go for camos, learn the mechanics of the game. Now, once again, this is where you're going to start to feel unfamiliar. There's going to be Omni movement, there's going to be different things. So my recommendation is something I try to do as well. While you're playing pubs, learn the new stuff. The worst thing you could do is go into Black Ops 6, go into rank play, not being able to dolphin dive sideways, for example, right? Imagine this. Imagine there's a world where you're playing pubs with whoever you're playing with, but while you're playing, you're kind of just learning the new mechanics, learning the new movements. I always say this to people that ask me, I'm like, whenever there's a new game out, my biggest advice is learn the new stuff, because the developers normally make them a bit broken because they want to have a new kind of USP of the game, right? There's no point having Omni movement if it's terrible. So they want to make the new thing slightly broken so that people use it because it's a marketing kind of segment. Oh, this is in the game. It's been like that. And I play a lot of FIFA. It's the same thing. Whenever there's like a new shot type in FIFA, which is a football game, there's always quite broken because they want people to use it and say like, that's like a USP of buying the new game, right? Same in COD. Omni movement is going to be broken. It's going to be very, very broken, certain ones. So make sure to practice it. I'm going to have plenty of guides up for that, but just make sure you're utilizing it. When you're playing pubs, just try it. But you know what? I'm not really sliding sideways. Let me try sliding sideways. Just get comfortable with it. See when it's good. See when it's not so good. Get comfortable. Okay. So that's the next tip. Get comfortable, because when the game drops, when rank play drops, you want to be ready. Now, I know some of you guys are like, you know what, I don't like pubs. That's absolutely fine. The next thing, try to play some 8s, okay? So for people that don't know what 8s is essentially when you play 4v4, just like rank play, you play with essentially in a private lobby, and normally it's hardpoint. So you go through and you basically go through the rotation, you play 8. Normally it's a fun, some people do money 8s, whatever, it depends what you guys are doing, but most of the time you can get into 8s lobby for free, for fun, just to practice. I will be hosting them in my server. The Discord is in the description. I will be trying my best to get as much practice in as possible. For the community, I want to get as much 8s as possible. There will also be the BPL 8. If you guys don't know Breaking Point, they did a fantastic job this year hosting 8, so I would check them out. They're probably just look on Twitter for Breaking Point or YouTube and look for their server. They will have 8, and Zoo Mafia. Zuma's one also has 8. Now, one thing I personally found is they were quite toxic. I'm not going to lie. I played in a few of them, and it's like people were quite toxic. They weren't really down to improve, and it just was quite toxic. So my next bit of advice is find people that you can play with that will allow you to kind of learn the game as well, and they're not going to be toxic. Like, it's really important to have that positive environment, and hopefully my Discord server is going to be that place. I'm really going to try my best to make it that place for you guys. So yeah, that's on me. That's going to be my responsibility. I want you guys to have somewhere where you can play and learn and stuff like that. So yeah, those are kind of some of the things I think you should just go to as you head towards Black Ops 6, is like, get some practice in, play some 8s. When you're playing the game, like, get used to the movement, get used to this, get used to that. Aim assist will be nerfed. Like, keep practicing, keep doing your stuff. I know we're not going to be playing rank play straight away, but if you can get yourself prepared, right? If you can get a team ready, if you can get players that you're familiar with, if you can learn the maps, learn the rotations, stuff like that, that will happen. Again, if you watch the pros, they might be playing some 8s. Watch the pros, learn the rotations. I get people in my chat now still asking me for hardpoint rotations, right? Like hardpoint spawns. That's fine, but if you're trying to compete next year or trying to get to that next level, these things you should be learning at the start of the year to give you the most advantage, give you the best advantage. Level up your rank play weapons. If you feel like the pros are using this certain AR and SMG in professional 8s, but you know what, this might be a part of the meta, like this might be the rank play class, let me use it in pubs, let me get familiar with it. There's loads of small tips and tricks you guys can use to get ahead, but like always, the main thing is have fun with it. The new game is going to be really, really fun to play. There's going to be loads of stuff at the beginning, search and destroy tournaments on like CMGs. There's going to be loads of stuff to play, so have fun with it, learn the game, learn the mechanics. If there's something you're not familiar with, don't be afraid, don't be scared to try it. No, make sure to use it, okay? And this way you can reach your potential. I was going to end it there, but there's a few more kind of tips I want to go through, like more like detailed stuff. So those are kind of the generic ones, but it depends. Okay, so for everyone watching that's like just wants to improve their rank, right? Let's say you're gold and you just want to get to platinum, you finally want to get there. I think if you apply those, you'll be fine. Like, do all those stuff, take the game not seriously, but just a little bit more, with a bit more preparation than you currently would, okay? That's for everyone else. Now, for the people that really want to improve, really want to go from like gold to like crimson, you guys like, you're like, you know what, this is my year. I want to compete, like I want to be the best version. All right, this is for you. I want you to take this year as like an opportunity now, but right, if I really want to compete now, like I actually want to get my name out there, what's the goal? Because I know some of you watching are like, you know what, like they're all good tips, but I want to make it. Like I just got a feeling I can really be that good, or I could do something with this, right? I would say you got to get your name out there. You got to, you know what, like you have to start playing with people better than you. Like you need to be playing with people better than you. You need to be learning every day. And the approach I personally took to get to this level, now I'm not saying I'm amazing, but I got Crimson every single season solo queue, right? When last year, you guys follow my channel, I only got Crimson like twice, and I could definitely see an improvement in my game. And there's a few things I definitely did differently. And I'm like, okay, I wasn't that good last year in comparison. So one thing is just being really critical to yourself and saying, you know what, I'm not as good as I think, and this is the reason why. Like, put the work in. It's nothing to do with skill. It's simply about work. Like, I was actually watching a video from Sib, and it kind of put it into perspective. He was talking about how he wants to have the best shot in the CDL, right? He was talking about he wants to be the flex with the best shot and the best movement. I was like, you know what? He's not just saying this. While he's saying that, he was shooting 600 bots. He shot 600 bots at this point. I was like, you know what? Like, they're saying something, then there's doing something. Like, if you guys really want to improve, you have to put the time in and you have to be smart. A lot of us, obviously, we're not playing COD full time like the pros, right? They got the luxury. Obviously, they deserved it, but just generally, they got the luxury to play full time now that that's their job. So they're able to put that time in. So for you guys that maybe don't have as much time, you need to be smarter with your time. You need to be like, you know what? I'm going to put this much time in. I'm going to... Okay, what am I going to do? This is what you should say, but you know what? I'm going to have this like plan. So I'm going to play for the first 20 minutes. I'm going to warm up this. Have specific warm-ups. Like, right, for Monday, I'm going to work on my centering, my short jump and my long jump. For Tuesday, omni movement only. Like, have a plan to yourself as if it's a workout plan. I know it's kind of like weird and it's a game, right? It's the end of the day, it's a video game, but I think esports has evolved now where we're at the point where there's some serious money in this, man. So if you guys are really like, you know, I want to like compete in this, you have to take it seriously. You really do. Now, this advice might not apply to most people, and that's fine, but the people that really want to improve, like when I was younger, I really wanted to compete. Unfortunately, I never got to that point where I could compete in the CDL. I wasn't good enough, but I look back and I'm like, I wish I put that time in. I never used to do warm-ups. I used to just play rank play and kind of just play. And I got to a good point. I was a good player, but I was never him. I was never elite because I didn't put that time in. I didn't play with better players. I didn't do like competitive games. I didn't go out my comfort zone. There's so many things you can do to just test yourself. So if you guys want to get your name out there, make content, improve, keep playing, find better teammates, find people that are going to have a growing kind of attitude with you. Don't find toxic people, and play with them, learn with them, teach them stuff, like ask them, like 1v1 them, like, yo, like what's my weakness? Like actually ask people, like 1v1 someone that's better than you. I'm like, yo, what was hot? Like why did you fry me? Like what was easy? And they'll be like, bro, it was so easy. Like you literally kept on going off head glitches, stuff like that. So it's like they will give you advice if you find the right people. They'll be like, bro, every time I was on a head glitch, you ran at me, and you'll be like, oh yeah, you're right, I did do that. So you'll start to put pieces together, and then like, let's say you get fried 30-5, right? And you play again in a week, and now it's 30-15. You're like, oh my god, I still got fried, but I made a gap. Like I'm actually that much better in a week. And then you just start to get better and better and better. Put yourself out there, play better people. Don't be scared to get fried, because then you learn. And you be like, watch the kill cams. Like, bro, what the fuck did this guy do? How did he kill me like that? Wow, that slide around that corner, that omni movement was insane. Watch the kill cam, say, you know what? I don't do that. Let me add that to my game. That's how you guys get better. Don't be afraid to learn. Be a sponge. Be positive. There's going to be toxic people out there. I've said this all in my e-guide as well. If you guys want to check it out, it's down in the description. But one thing I realized on my journey to becoming like a better player was like, people that you're better than, you're not going to learn from. So you need to use that as an opportunity to say, right, what could I do? Like, I need to play people I'm better than. But let me say that again. You can learn from people you're better than in terms of like you can play people you're better than and still learn like what you're doing. But sometimes you pick up bad habits, you get complacent. The best way to learn is playing people better than you. Now, when that happens, if you're the worst in the lobby, you're gonna get shit talk. They're gonna roast you. End of the day, it's Call of Duty. That's a part of the culture. People are gonna laugh at you, roast you, whatever. You gotta have a thick skin and be like, you know what? That doesn't affect me, because at the end of the day, you're gonna learn how to improve while they're not getting anything from that. So let me give you an example. If you're gold, right, and there's an 8 lobby that are diamond players, and you're like scared to join it, don't be scared. Join that lobby, get fried, but learn from it. Be like, yo, why did I get fried? Okay, let me watch it back and analyze it. It's gonna be painful. You're gonna see yourself go 10 and 25, like, oh my god. But you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn and say, you know what? I died 7 times because I didn't chuck a stun. Like that guy stunned me 7 times. So, okay, you know what? Next time I play, I'm going to use my equipment. And then over the weeks, you're going to get closer and closer to bridging that gap. People ask me all the time, yo, Arv, like what's the difference between like a platinum and a diamond? I'm like, there isn't just one difference. Like you could have insane centering, but terrible minimap awareness. You might never look at the kill feed. So for you, just simply using those 2 things, the minimap and the kill feed, it might take you to a diamond player, where someone else might have so much awareness, but they move like a slug. They just don't move on the map. So there's different things. You just got to improve as a player. This was more of an in-depth guide on just how to reach your potential in Black Ops 6. Hope you guys did enjoy it. It was a different style of video. Let me know what you guys think. I do like these more conversational kind of guides, as we have some gameplay in the background and just kind of talking over just my thoughts. So let me know if there's anything specific you want me to talk about, and I'll make sure to do that for you guys. guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys for another video tomorrow. Peace.